Hello guys, so let me show you something that I felt would be a good example of demonstrating how modern day SEO works and what you should be truly focusing on as opposed to the mainstream view, okay? So here I have Search Console data for my article, which is this article. Basically, it's about hreflang country codes and language codes. And what is happening here is that the topic itself is gaining traction. So it's basically growing in impression in comparison with like the last 3 months with the previous 3 months. So a quarterly comparison, basically. But the thing is that the clicks are going down. And we can see that the average CTR is slightly dropping despite of the average position being improved. We can look at the individual keywords that are responsible for this. So when I sort the keywords by the decline, meaning which keywords are responsible for the decline in clicks, I can see that it mainly comes from a single keyword, which is basically a head keyword. It's not a long tail keyword, and it could be the primary keyword of the article itself. However, you can see it's declining in CTR, in click-through rates, okay, despite of the position being roughly the same. And, the logical step here would be examining what caused the drop, but I think that's not that important in the long term. It could be important in the short term, but it's not as important in the long term. So basically, what does it mean? It could be the competitive articles gaining some traction or stealing some of the clicks from the SERP. It could be algorithm updates as well. It could be AI overviews, anything that is stealing the traffic and the attention in the SERP. And it's basically stealing my traffic, my clicks. When you look at the SERP, you can see that when you search for the keyword, you have a competitor that is being active. You can see my article here, but you can also see AI overview here with pretty decent content. So these all are elements that could be stealing the clicks, right? So instead of obsessing about the single keyword and panicking and, how do I get the traffic back? I can do some stuff. I could run paid ads, or I can try to, outrank them, but that wouldn't really give me much more needed clicks or attention, right? So instead, I'm focusing on the opposite. So I'm not focusing on what I lost. I'm focusing on what naturally is getting traction, which could be language codes, for example. It could be individual hreflang tags. It could be those nice long tail keywords that are growing in clicks. And I could also look at what's growing in impressions in general. And I can see that a trending topic is how to set up hreflang in Spanish. What are the perks and hurdles of very generic hreflang tag in English? I can see there are some edge cases like for Canada. Why is Ahrefs showing up in Russian? And these kind of very nice long tail topics. Okay. And you can see they're already getting traction, but I'm not getting any clicks from that. Meaning that I could be in some random positions for those keywords, but not that far off, actually. I'm growing in positions for the keyword hreflang English. So one can say there is some traction. So instead of obsessing the very generic keyword and hreflang country codes, I can tap into these long tail keywords and make a plan accordingly, right? So how to integrate those nice long tail keywords, have different strategies of explaining, structuring the content in different ways. I can tap into the untapped potential of the hreflang in English or English hreflang. I can also explore tools. Also, you can see the long tail keyword that we saw is here. So these are really growing, trending, long tail topics that really make the article stand out among the competitors. and also like gain further traction organically in the long term. So this is my plan basically. And, when I'm persistent in implementing those in the article, which is this article, I will be able to like increase the value of the article itself by adding more like all kinds of different content, maybe FAQs, special cases for Europe, some tools, frequent errors, FAQs, as I said, like I have already a pretty vast, pool of questions and answers. So I can add more. I can make the article more friendly when it comes to navigation, when it comes to user experience. So anything goes based on that plan I pulled together, purely based on the topics and trending long tail keywords. So that's the way to enhance the content. And that's basically how modern SEO is done. It's actually beneficial for users as well as different search engines, different engines, also like AI powered tools and language models. So that's the only way forward as I see it. So hope it helps. If you guys want to learn the untapped potential of your own content, let me know and we can figure something out. Have a good day.